Are we good now?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all sat over there, and then there's a couple of, nobody sat, well, I mean, you guys sat in the middle, so I'm going to be talking to you guys, because I have to stay here. So yeah. My name is Brynn. I am, well, right now, I write grants for a living. It's my in-between job. But before that, I taught life skills for 12 years in College Station ISD, and then I got to work in Bryan ISD as their transition coordinator. After that, I was fortunate enough to get to run the state network for transition. That was really fun. I got to work with all 20 ESCs in Texas. And now I'm in my in-between job, which is fun, and I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, so I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, so there we are. You are here today to learn what to do over the summer with your fun kids. Who's ready for summer? Who is like terrified because now your kids are going to be home 24/7? I am. A little backstory also. I have 3 kiddos, 2 dogs and a husband, so I have 6 people that I take care of. But my oldest daughter, Nolan, has autism and ADHD. She is 12. She's about to go into 6th grade, so we are right in that puberty mix. And then I have Peyton. She's my middle girl. She's 10. And then I have David, who is all boy. He is 6. And all things boy, running, jumping on things. So summers are hard in our house, just because my husband is a football coach and a track coach and does some powerlifting in there. But he is busy with summer camps all summer. So it's like, hey mom, here we go, make life fun, and I work your so today we are going to talk about the different things that you can do to help alleviate some of the summer stress for your families, whether that looks like the sensory movies that Amy was talking about. I will be buying tickets to the Minecraft one because I want to see it, but so does my daughter. But we're going to talk about things that you can do at home, in your community, sleepover camps, different things like that. We want to make sure that your student or your kids are retaining the skills that they spent all year learning really hard to do. We're going to talk about your community resources, and then I have closing and questions, but really I like if y'all just yell at me if you have questions, so I just interrupt me. Like I said, I have 3 kids, so I'm used to it. Please interrupt me. It'll be great. And if you're watching online, then you can ask questions there, and that would be great too. So let's see. When we are going through, we're going to talk, I'm going to be saying some things, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page whenever I'm talking about them. So if I say choice making or decision making, what I'm referring to is whenever you provide a structured choice for your child or young adult. Real quick, how many of you guys have elementary students or children? We're not educators. Well, some of you might be. Okay. How many of you have secondary kiddos? Secondary kid over here. When did we say secondary? What? Middle school? High school? High school? 6th grade? Okay. High school? Great, we got a great mix. We got elementary, middle school, everyone. Okay. So, we're talking, whenever I say those things, I'm meaning probably you giving the choice between 1 or 2, 1 or 3, different things. When we talk about goal setting, that's going to be the process of taking active steps. A lot of times at schools, we talk about goals and their IEP goals, but we also want to talk about things that they might want to do at home. So that I know you have goals too. You want the applesauce. Okay, so that could be setting a goal to earn the Saturday movie, right? What are they going to have to do at home to earn that? And we're going to work on the goal movie and then the steps that it takes to do that. self-awareness, self-determination, and self-advocacy. So we want them to be working on all these skills over the summer so that whenever they get back to school, they will still have these things. Okay, how many of you, this is what your summer looks like? Staying up late, sleeping in, unstructured free time, unplanned random trips, and increased screen time. Because for me, that last one, increased screen time, is definitely a thing. I am not the perfect parent, but you know what? Like I said, I'm working 8 to 5, and sometimes that's what happens. We try to have very few unplanned trips, but sometimes we make a trip to Grandma's house, and it was not something that we were planning to do. This is definitely a thing too. How many of us get off of our schedules during the summer, and our kids end up staying up a lot later, or they sleep in? There we go, good. I was about to say, we don't need this training. I can just leave, it'll be great. Okay, so what are some things that causes that in your homes?
You don't have somewhere to be first thing in the morning.
There's nowhere to be first thing in the morning, so it's like we don't have to rush to get up in the morning, okay? What else causes some of those things?
Out of our routine.
You're out of your routine, okay? Who else?
Sometimes we're waiting until it gets later so we can go outside.
Okay, it's hot, and so we're waiting until it cools off to be able to enjoy the outside so we're not cooped up. Those are all great things. And so one of the things that we want to work on is trying to provide some sort of structure, some sort of, we don't have to be somewhere at 8 a.m., but maybe we can have something set up to where the day is planned out. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things that either I've seen other parents do, things that I've tried, interests, ideas, but just different ideas of things to help you. One of the things that we have found in my house that helps not only with this increased screen time, but also making sure that my kiddos don't just fall behind completely, especially Nolan, my oldest, is we have 5 tasks before I will turn on the Wi-Fi. We tried that first last summer, and it worked really well, just because it made her have to read a book. We had make our bed, we had brush our teeth, eat breakfast, and then there was some other chore that they got to pick. But until that was done, their Wi-Fi was not turned on. And so that kind of kept them a little bit productive, but it gave them a way to start their day. It was very predictable. They knew whenever they woke up, they went to the fridge, they saw what was on the fridge that they had to do, and then that's what we did. The first 2 weeks of that were rough, and it took about an hour and a half before the internet got turned on over the summer. Eventually, they got into their routine and they realized, like, oh, this is just what's going to happen. And so please know that it is not going to be a fun thing necessarily for your kiddos. But after about 2 weeks, they got into the routine of things. On weekends, we didn't do it, but that was something that kind of helped. Another thing that we did to help with this was Target. I love their dollar spot, their little dollar thing, or even Dollar Tree, or any of those places. They have workbooks that are grade level based. And so sometimes what I ended up doing to make it where it wasn't too hard was I got a level below what my daughter was, just to get her the first half of summer used to doing it, and she was used to doing an activity page. And then the second half of summer, she was on the grade level book. But that way it was a fun type thing. It was either coloring based, or it was an activity that she was used to doing, and it was easy, so it wasn't too hard for her since it was summer, but she enjoyed that too. Something that we are going to try this summer is audiobooks. I have been really into audiobooks lately, and so I downloaded on each of my kids' little tablet the kids' audiobook for like Amazon Kids has like a kids reading program. And so that's what we're doing, where we're gonna have 30 minutes where they can either read in their book or they can listen to an audiobook. Because I don't discriminate between reading. You can either listen to it or read it. I'm cool with either one. What are some things that you guys have done over the summer to maybe keep your kiddos engaged? Do any of your kids go to ESY? Extended school year? Yes? Okay, does that help your? You don't know yet. You don't know yet? Okay, first year. Well, that's exciting. You raised your hand.
I reach out to summer camps to see if they do any donations or things like that.
Perfect.
So for this summer and last summer, they donated to my son for summer day camps.
Okay, summer day camps. How many are College Station ISD students or kiddos? Okay, so they have like summer enrichment programs. There are some other places in town. There's that Lego place that's off Texas Avenue, Bricks and something. I can't think of the name of it, but they do like Bricks and many things, yes. Sometimes they do summer programs, and so looking at what's available around in the community is a really great thing, especially whenever it is hot outside and you want your kiddos to be inside. Okay, so some practical tips that you can do with your kiddos. Chores are not always the funnest thing to do, but we talked about, if y'all were here last year at this training, we talked about doing, we have a box method where we have different colors of the foldable boxes that you can get, the little cubby boxes. So we have one of each color. And for my son, he has to pick up 6 things in his room of each color and put it in the colored box. And so it's more of a matching, but it's fun. Is his room completely clean whenever we're done? No, but does it look better? Yes. And so all of his green things go here, all of his purple things, blue things, red things, but it's a more engaging way for him to clean his room. And so that's something that we do. With my daughter, she has doom boxes. This is something that I've had to work on a lot as a mom, and just know that it's okay. How many of you guys have heard of doom boxes? No? Okay. So doom boxes are apparently a very common ADHD thing, or doom piles, where people have piles of things and they know what's in those piles, but they don't. Or for me, I have bags full of things. My daughter has doom boxes where whatever makes sense in her brain, like these things go in this box. And it could be arts and crafts stuff, it's whatever her brain needs it to be. And so she just has boxes in her room. They're the same little cubby things. But she puts things in those boxes. And it doesn't have to be organized. It doesn't have to be what I consider organized. She considers it organized. But that's how she cleans, is she puts things in her doom boxes. And she knows what's in them because she always gets them out and she knows if something's not in there. But chores can also include simple things like brushing your teeth, doing the dishes, taking out the trash, vacuuming, feeding your pets. What are some other chores that maybe you do at your house? Laundry, okay?
Yeah, I asked my son to wash dishes.
Wash dishes, okay? Any of your kiddos venture to cooking yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Think about teenagers.
Yes. Okay, so maybe doing some fun cooking, and that could be either microwave meals, that could be making sandwiches, that could be getting snack bags ready. Snack bags are a big thing at our house because otherwise my kids will eat us out of house and home over the summer, and they think they are always hungry. And so we have tubs that we put out, and on Sundays they get their tubs ready. They each have their own name, but they put snacks in them that they can have throughout the week. And once those snacks are gone, they're gone. The first week of that, again, is a little rough because they see all the snacks and they want to eat all the snacks the first day. And so we had to teach them how to, it was a good learning point as a parent too, because we did not know that they didn't know how to ration the food. And so we had to, after the first week of realizing all the snacks were gone on Tuesday, we had to work with them of, okay, you can pick 2 snacks today, and then you can pick 2 snacks the next day. But that's something that we do to help them learn some independence, and they get to pick out their own food, they get to pick out their own snacks, and they're helping to make those. So community outings, it's hot in College Station in Texas, but one of the fun things that we did this last week, how many of you guys know about the Starlight Music Festival? Okay, that's a really fun thing to do. It's out at Wolfpen Creek. They're going to be releasing the dates soon. We went and saw Stoney LaRue and the Jason Boland Band. It's free. It starts after sundown at 7 o'clock. It's a family-friendly event, so kids were there running around. They can run around on the hill. They have that playground there now. But it's a place that parents can go and enjoy something, but their kids can get out of the house too. They also do movies at Wolfpen Creek at night, which is really fun. You can take a blanket, you can take some food, but that's something that you can do. We are a big fan of Kids Bowl Free. Did y'all know that there is a Kids Bowl Free that you can sign up for at Grand Station or Wolfpen Bowling, whatever it's called at this point. I think it's been through 3 names. But they have a summer program for kids where all you have to do is pay for the shoes, and you can go and bowl any day of the week. And so it's really fun. But you just have to sign up, and your kids can bowl.
And that's nationwide.
And it's nationwide, so yes, we learned that last year. If you're traveling out of the state or out of the city, you can find any Kids Bowl free location and take your kiddos there. What are some other community things? We talked about the movie nights, the sensory-free movies, or the movies at Wolfpen Creek. There are some of those summer camps that you can go to that are really great, either provided by the school. The center has a list of summer camps that are available. Also, if you're on Facebook, the Women's BCS group that Wendy Flynn runs, they have a whole thread of summer camps. And so, yes, what are some other community outings that you guys like to do as families? Yeah.
Oh my God. The last 2 years, I don't know if they're doing it this year, but the last 2 years, College Station has offered adaptive swim lessons, so one-on-one swim lessons.
Oh.
You gotta get on the list right away.
Got to get on the list. Okay.
We were too late last year, but it was awesome when we had it.
Swimming is a great fun activity for summer. Somebody else raise their hand?
I know on the list that Amy sent out last year for the library events, they have like different events almost every week. And there was one where we went to and they did like they played Nintendo or something, some sort of game thing. And it was like a community thing. It was very cute.
Okay, at the
kids
library?
enjoyed it. Yeah, it was free too.
There you go.
They brought
Libraries
like
are great.
snacks and
Yeah, it was the
drinks.
Smash Bros tournament.
Yeah.
Smash Bros tournament.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Look at the different churches that are around. I know Central does a lot of things over the summer. There's different VBS camps that you can get involved with. A lot of those are also, they start in the evening and whenever it's not as hot, but there are some day ones also. Anybody over here? Do y'all ever do anything over the summer? What are some community things that you guys like to do? Stay inside. Okay, we're another swimming fan. We we are big swimmers at my house too. It wears our kids out, and they will sleep better at night. Even though my oldest, she still has to wear the life vest, but she doesn't care. She still swims like a little fish and loves it. How many of your kids are involved in some kind of therapy that they get? Occupational therapy, physical therapy? Do you continue that over the summer? Yeah? Okay. There are some horse riding camps that are really great also. I have tried to get my daughter to do that, and she just doesn't. She's not about that life. She's too big. But horse riding is another great activity for a lot of kids. There are several camps around the area that do that. Okay, and leisure time is always a fun one, right? I'm going to challenge you that you should let your kid pick what leisure time is. A lot of times we as parents like to make what leisure time is. And what is leisure to us, for me, it is sitting in my hammock swing listening to an audiobook, is not leisure to our kids. And it can cause some stress. And so something that we are going to try this summer is I bought a mason jar. My job is now to get my kids to fill the mason jar with ideas on pieces of paper of things that they want to do either around the house or around the neighborhood, things that are readily available that don't cost money. Those are the two things that has to be. So either it's going on a walk, doing sidewalk chalk, they are allowed to pick watching TV or watching a movie, any of those things, but they're going to fill the jar, and whenever it is leisure time, they are going to pick something. And that way, hopefully, I haven't tried this yet, hopefully it will prevent fighting of, well, she got to pick last time what we did, and he got to pick last time what it's my turn to pick. We're just going to pick out of the jar, that it is the jar's fault. So we're going to see how that goes. We are also going to try, ask me next year how this goes. We are going to try a board jar. So anytime they say, I'm bored, there's going to be a jar full of chores that they have to do that mommy gets to pick. They get to pick the fun jar, I get to pick the chore jar. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. My husband's favorite phrase right now is, it's okay to be bored, you need to be bored, that there's not always going to be something to do, but during the summer that's going to be hard. So, we're going to have a chore jar, or the I'm bored jar, and we're going to have a leisure time jar. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see the kinds of things that they come up with. I know that my middle daughter will probably come up with some more arts and craftsy type things. My son will probably pick some more, he's going to pick video games. Who am I kidding? He's going to pick video games or watching Minecraft. My oldest daughter, she will probably pick things outside, like riding bikes, or going down to the pond, or we moved into a new house, and with that we got a golf cart, and so I foresee a lot of golf cart rides in our summer future. So, let's see. This is one thing also to keep in mind. We talked a little bit about the workbooks, but we still, over the summer, we do have at least 1 hour a day where we are focused on some kind of academic activity. One of the other settings that I really like about the tablets that they have are they have to do a certain amount of reading before they can get onto any of their apps. And so along with the no Wi-Fi until the 5 things are done, which again, after 2 weeks, that went really well because it just became routine. That was something that went really well. But the workbooks, my middle daughter, it would be my middle daughter, she asked, do I already have the summer workbook? She's like asking if we're doing them again this year. It was just something that she got to come and show me that she wanted to do. And so finding something that she enjoys, it became a comfort for them almost because they expected it. They knew that it was coming. And so that was something that we really liked. Nature walks are fun, either early in the morning or later in the evening. You can go on Google or Pinterest or even Teachers Pay Teachers. Anytime I go on Teachers Pay Teachers, I hit the free button. I don't want to pay for many of the things, but they have scavenger hunts that you can do. Gas is kind of going down a little bit. Does anybody remember during COVID where they did the bear hunts? Did anybody do that? Nobody's kid? Okay. Fun thing. So one of the things that we did during COVID was we would go on drives and people put teddy bears in their windows. It was something that started over Facebook and people just put teddy bears in their windows. And you would go by and you would try to find all the teddy bears. But you can go on car drive scavenger hunts. And so you can look for different road signs, you can look for different flags, what's around your community. We did one where we did public places. So on the bingo card, we had hospital, we had police station, but we drove around and we had them find them, and then we got ice cream after whenever somebody won. But everybody got ice cream, nobody didn't get ice cream. So yeah. Any questions over those, or anything that you guys do that you thought of while I was jabbering?
The facets calendar, like I put all the library events on there, all the
Okay.
swimming events and all that.
So the facets calendar, how do they get to the facets calendar?
Go to facetsbcs.org.
Facetsbcs.org, there's a calendar with all community events, Amy said, on there, and so that's a great resource for you to kind of keep up with. Facetsbcs.org. FACETSBCS.org. Everybody good? Yes, ma'am.
One thing that we do at around this time every year is we have a family meeting, and we have those big Post-it notes, you know?
Big Post-it notes.
And we make a summer bucket list, so all the kids get to add a couple of things that they have to do for it to feel like they had a good summer vacation.
I love that.
So we have them all up, I put them on our windows in the room where we eat. So they see them all the time, and they can ask and say, hey, we haven't done this, when are we gonna do this?
Do you have like a cutoff, like when do they get to keep adding things to that, or is it like one weekend we pick and then that's it, no adding?
We don't add.
We don't add.
One meeting, we brainstorm, we add, and then like every Sunday, we'll have kind of like a mini planning meeting and say, is there something on here you wanna do for like, because we have like a designated day where we go do something fun in the park.
I love that. So for those online who couldn't hear that, they have a kind of family meeting. They get one of the big wall Post-its, or you could really use anything. And they have a summer bucket list that the kids get to pick what would be the 2 or 3 things that this means you had a great summer. You know what? The local safaris, the Aggieland Safari and Franklin Safari, sometimes they do night hours during the summer. Last year they did Jurassic Night, where they showed a movie outside at Aggieland Safari. So follow them on their social medias, and you'll get like 2 days notice. But they were really fun. We did that, and the kids got to sit on, it was like an old drive-in movie theater. It was really fun. But yeah, okay. Anybody else do anything fun? Because I'm learning things now that I want to incorporate, so this is more for me. Yeah.
So I do have a question. I feel like a lot of activities in this town, in College Station, Bryan, they are actually designed for kids, neurological typical kids. So I'm worried about my son. My son's 5. If he has autism, and I'm worried about if he goes to school, College Station ISD, and in summer, basically there's nothing he can do in summer because the entire summer is 3 months. That makes me very worried. And I understand there's some activities like there and here and there, but ideally I want some activity you can stay there for a whole time. But I don't find many summer camp will accommodate for kids with autism. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, so I would say that facets calendar unfortunately, I will agree with you that our town doesn't necessarily have a place specifically for students or kiddos with disabilities during the summertime where it is like full day kind of places. My daughter did the College Station enrichment for 3 summers in a row. They knew that she had an IEP going in. They had things set up for her, and so I think that isn't something that you should maybe this is appropriate for your kiddo. I'm not sure if Ryan ISD has summer enrichment. Stephanie's shaking her head no. Okay, no, I'm looking behind you. Sorry. But I know my daughter had a great time. Her work, because it's more like we got to sign her up for different classes. So she did art class, she did, one of hers was nature walk class, but there was different things that they could sign up for. And so she did the 3 hours, so she was there all morning, and then we picked her up at noon. So I do agree with you on that, but I would say keep up with the Facets website. There are camps that are out of town that your kiddos can go to, but I think that as a community, that's something that we could do better. I wish somebody from BB Steel was here, but your kiddo's 5, and so that's a little young for that. Yes, sir. So that's the other thing too, is a lot of things in town cost money, and so some of the ideas I'm trying to give you are the free ideas. But yes, so I will say I have been really pleased with Legends Event Center. That's something you can do like a summer pass to. They have a video arcade as well as the basketball and everything, pickleball courts and different gyms inside. There is the new, it's like putt-putt, but it is expensive. It's like 20 holes, but it's fun. They have misters out, so you don't get too hot, so that might be a bucket list item that you do one time. But yes, things unfortunately cost money, and when you have multiple kids, then that gets a little hard. So I do agree with that. That's one of the reasons I do like the sensory-friendly movies. We don't just take my daughter, we take our whole family. But because they're matinees, they are at that lower cost. So that's nicer to do, and it's inside and not so hot. But that's once a month. But I would say that the morning movies are cheaper than the late night movies. Yeah. It does, yeah, you have to, because even the Aglet Safari are pretty far out there. A zoo. We're gonna create our own bucket list. We want a zoo in town. But I will say the Waco Zoo is really fun. You have to drive there, but the Waco Zoo is great.
I was just gonna say for kiddos that are in elementary grade school, maybe in planning for like next summer, you can reach out to College Station ISD Education Foundation and see if they have scholarships available for the summer. My oldest son, this is his 2nd year, they have multiple counselors that work with a small amount of kids, and so they would go on field trips and they would always make sure that they had enough, especially if you told them, hey, my child with disability is going on this field trip, how can we work together to accommodate? And I went with them on their first field trip, and it was almost like I really didn't need to be there. But always reach out to them prior to summer, I would say January, February. And more than likely, they will have it. You just have to reach out to them because they don't make it public. Also, Milliken Reserve, they host different events. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay like $5, but You're out in nature.
I
you
do
can
like
go
Milliken
fishing,
Reserve, that's a great one,
Yeah.
out at Lake Creek Park and
Going
stuff.
hiking. Can you?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's hard to hear, you're gonna have to say all of that again, don't you, oh goodness.
It was really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was really good. You mind?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that way the people on Facebook can hear.
You can reach out to College Station ISD Education Foundation, I would say in January, February, and ask them if they have scholarships for the summer to go ahead and get on their list. And then they'll let you know when the time is to apply for those. And then speak with the counselors at the school for elementary or middle school.
Is this for Kids Club?
This is for summer day camp. And you do not have to be a College Station ISD student
No, it's any student in the
to
area.
go to that camp, and they have so many counselors for a small amount of group of kids. So like 6 to 1, sometimes 4 to 1, which is really nice, especially if you're worried about, your child not having enough attention. My oldest is his second year, and I didn't need to be at any of the field trips that they went to. I was just super worried about it.
And they did fun field trips, like they went they take them to
They go
like
to Six
Houston
Flags.
and Six Flags.
They go to
different
like the
things
space
that,
camper.
yeah. Water parks, yeah.
And then also Milliken Reserve, they have garden days. They have you go out fishing with family. You go on hikes. Some of them, most of them are free. Some of them I think you have to pay like $5. But it's nice.
Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry,
No, you don't be sorry. This is better than me sitting up here talking all the time.
So, I have a daughter who always says she wants to do stuff, and then we get two lessons in, and she wants to quit because it's too hard, Mom. And so, a few years ago, I was like, well, instead of doing ballet the whole year, how about if you do a ballet camp in the summer? Because usually it's smaller, and it's only for like 2 weeks or something. And she doesn't have school all day long to be good. So it's a great time to see if it's actually something your kid wants to do. They cost money, but usually also, if you talk to the people ahead of time and tell them, I have someone with, well, my daughter has autism, so I have an autistic daughter, she's not really cooperative sometimes, or she might do her own thing, and they're fine with it, or they get an extra, like, older student to kind of be her shadow or something. But the other thing is, for people that are traveling, if you're traveling in your car, if you have a 4th grader, I don't know if anyone's used every kid, every 4th grader in a park. You've heard of this? This is a program that the National Parks hopefully still offers. I don't know. I haven't looked it up this year since administrative change.
Every 4th grader,
Yeah, it's called Every Kid in a Park.
every kid in the
Yeah,
park.
but it's a program that's offered to 4th graders that either kids that are entering 4th grade year, if you want to take advantage of it this summer, or next summer after their 4th grade year, you can apply for a National Parks Pass for free. And you can get into any federal grasslands, any national monument, any national park, any national forest like Sam Houston. You can get into any of those places. The 4th grader gets in for free, but if you pay by the car, the whole carload gets in for free. So we've got, and since if you have a kid that tires easily or has tantrums, and you don't want to have to pay a bunch of money for something that you might only get 5 minutes out of, this makes it kind of worth it, because, if you didn't pay anything, then you can leave us, you don't think your money's worth.
There you go, that's great. I'm gonna watch the recording back and get that down. Amy's like, we're all sitting here, yeah. Some other things that are hits in our house, board games. This one, we have had to hide some board games because Risk became a really popular one last summer, which we did not think was gonna happen. How many of you guys have played Risk? Big mistake. It's like a conquer the world, and it's never ending. They have a kids version that was still never ending. So we've had to hide some board games, but they really enjoy. We like the cooperative board games where everyone's working for one thing. We found at this point our family they just give us games to our demise. But we like penny drop. Like there are simple games that you can do in your house that are really engaging and teach those cooperative skills, and that, again, it's inside, it's free. We are also a big fan of sensory bins, no matter what age. Like every age of my kids like this. We take a trip to the dollar store, and we get the plastic bins there. We buy the rice there, the beans there. We get everything at the dollar store. I am all about cheapness. And then on the back wall, there's usually just bags of toys. And so we'll get those and we'll make our sensory bins out of those. Each kid gets to make 3 a summer. And so they get to pick out what they want. Last year, my daughter did a Barbie themed one. My son did a race car themed one where we just went in the backyard and got dirt, and he did like dirt tracks in his, and he really enjoyed it. But they each get to make 3, and then they end up trading and playing with each other. So they're really fun. It's a great way. You can make those for cheap, and they will last all summer, and then you can throw them away at the end because they get gross. Science experiments. My middle daughter loves science experiments. We will find YouTube channels, and she will sit there and watch them make the things that I am not a cool enough mom to let them make, like slime, because we don't do slime in my house. Because my daughter woke up with it in her hair one night, and it's just miserable. Yeah, we don't do slime. But she likes to watch people make slime. But we'll find YouTube channels of science experiments that they can watch. And we've already talked about screen time. It's a reality of life. If you are cool enough and strong enough to not have screen time in your house, I applaud you. That is not my house. So we've talked about different ways that you can monitor that. Okay, schedules. This is one thing that we have touched on. These can be as free, like as loose of a schedule as you want, or as strict of a schedule as you want. And you can use schedules anywhere. Last year, somebody had a question about hygiene, especially during the summer. They had a hard time with their son, I think it was their son, taking a shower. And we talked about putting a schedule in the shower, a visual schedule for him to use and get to move it. I know you don't like showers either, it's cool. But if you download the PDF, it will take you, that's not a touch screen. Why did I just think that I went into teacher mode and tried to touch the screen? These are all free templates. Let's see. Ooh. If you have not checked out Texas Sped Support, this is mainly for teachers. However, there are tons of things that families can use on here as well. There are templates for schedules. There are communication cards on here, and they are all free of charge. And if you're like, I don't even know what to do, it gives you tips on how to teach them. There are videos that go along with this. So Texas Sped Support is not only great for educators, but it is amazing for parents as well. That you can download these resources, and they will give you templates of different videos, different things. So TEA has really done a great job with trying to make things accessible for you to use over the summer so that you can mimic what your kiddos are learning at school. Okay. Oh, I want to show you the mini schedules too. That's what I just had. Okay. So bathroom mini schedule, washing hands. We have the washing hands one up in all of our bathrooms still at my house because my kids are feral. You just don't. See, I don't feel so alone. But you can click on these if you download the PowerPoint, which is on the website?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But all of those behavior cue cards on there, mini schedules. We have some of these that we have in our car that we take. My daughter is pretty good now, but there are some times where we have to make a stop at Walmart where we were not going to have to stop at Walmart. And it's just where are we going going? Why are we going there? What does that look like? A good example was last night, we went to my nephew's, he's a little wrangler, and they had their big dance recital last night for expressions. And on a whim, my daughter asked me, my 12-year-old Nolan, she said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go watch John Wayne dance. And she goes, well, I want to go. And I said, okay. And so we had not prepped for this or anything, and we get in the car, and we start driving to A&M. And she asked my sister, because we're all in the car together, she goes, are we going to Santa's Wonderland? Because that's the only place that she had ever seen him dance. She always goes at Christmas time to watch him dance at Santa's Wonderland. And so my sister's awesome. She's a diag. She does special ed too. And she goes, do you think we're going to Santa's Wonderland right now? And she goes, no, it's the other way. And she said, is Santa's Wonderland open right now? But then it became a lot of questions because it was not where she thought we were going. She assumed we were going one place, and we were not. And we were in my sister's car, so we did not have the things that we needed. But those are things that you can keep. These mini schedules or have them around so that it's better for when you have to make those last minute trips or an unplanned adventure. So we've started calling those unplanned adventures. So these are some of the things that we talked about at the very beginning. There is another tool that is really great for you to work on. At home, I thought I had it in here, but it might be on the next slide. But whenever we start talking about decision making and goal setting, again, a lot of times it's very much easier, especially if we're in a hurry or if we are frustrated because we've been with our kids all day. I know that I'm a better working mom. I'm not a good stay-at-home mom, so summers are hard because I need mommy time at work. But some of these things are hard because we just want to do them for our kids. And so making sure that we're giving them choices. Again, some of the things that we've been talking about, like the decision jar or the fun jar or the chore jar, those are all things that are giving your kids autonomy or making them feel like they have some control, whereas in typical situations they might not. If you ever see my children out during the summer, they pick out their clothes. So you get what you get. You could have a Superman costume on my 12-year-old girl. That was my 6-year-old son's. There's just some things that are not worth the battle. But looking at making sure that they are making some of those choices over summer and they're not getting used to just being told what to do time after time after time. So schedules can help with that. These are, I want to show you there it is. Okay, so this goes back to the resource. It's on Texas Fed Support. This goes from birth all the way through 18 plus.
And it will be with the handouts on the Purposeful Life.
It is.
It is. Okay, so this is with the handouts. I am very partial to this. I might or might not have worked years on this, and it is now published, so we're great with it. But it goes through the different choice-making, goal-setting, self-management, and self-determination. Again, these are skills that you can do from birth all the way until they get to up in the older grades. And then it also, at the beginning, she was talking about those Medicaid waiver lists. It has information about when you should start doing that. Hence, it's at birth to age 3. And so, but it gives you information of where you can get and where you can sign up for those things. It also gives you different strategies and skills that you can do on this. It's a really great little handout that you can use.
So they all have one of those.
Perfect.
Except, I'm sorry, I forgot to print the Spanish one.
There is a Spanish version online.
Yes, it'll be on the Purposeful Life website.
Yes.
That's my fault.
Shame on you. Okay, just kidding. Okay, we have 10 minutes where you can yell at me or ask questions or do any of the things. Any last minute thoughts from you guys? I'm super excited because I now have a summer dream board that we're going to make at my house. I'm hoping that you guys maybe got just one tip or one little resource that you can use throughout the summer. But are there any questions or last comments, something you thought about?
Thank you, Brynn.
I'm sure that's all.
Yeah, will you check your email?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't consolidate the DICE questions with the PowerPoint that's on the screen. You do have them at the end of your presentation though. So we're gonna switch now to our groups and do our DICE questions. If you haven't been here before, this is just an opportunity to talk to other parents. It's really awesome. So you just roll the dice and pick the question that goes with the number on the die. And if you don't like it, you can roll it again. It's okay if you don't like the question. So if y'all just kind of get in groups, if y'all want to turn and face the table behind you, sometimes that works. But this is the most beloved part of our time together. So, all right. So they're going to turn and face that table. They're going to turn and face that table. You guys have to kind of like scoot down so y'all can all be together. And there we go. And if you want, if the Spanish speakers can all be together, Adonai can interpret for you. Do you want to move to the other side? You can say if you want to, but it'll be easier. Right.